dolls, this is CRYSTALCHANEL and I am back with a Tea Talk Tuesday. Now you dolls really enjoyed the first Tea Talk Tuesday that I did, and I did not do 1 week because I didn't have a lot of questions and I don't want to just throw anything up here. So I am back. I have some tea honey, and it's really just questions that I have been asked as far as how to cope with stresses. What are some of the things that I like to do? What are some of the things that I did that wasn't so good? And just some good, how do you build your Instagram? So if you want to know some of that tea honey, then you already know what to do. Stay tuned. The eyebrows are really important in this look, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw them on for you. The Pomade by Beverly Hills of Anastasia. The question that I had was, how do you basically get through being overwhelmed? Basically is what I was asking, because personally, y'all, I be going through some shit. Like personally, I know everyone does, and it's just one of those things where I literally have to remind myself where I come from. I come from a resilient woman, and I will forever and always be grateful for everything I've learned through her experience. So I say all that just to say that when you are overwhelmed, when you are going through a lot, you have to remember where you come from. So knowing that my mom went through struggles, knowing that as a Black woman, my ancestors before me went through hella struggle, I feel like God will never give you something you can't handle. And I really do believe that everything happens for a reason. So I know I'm sounding hella cliche, but y'all, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. The first thing that I do when I get super stressed out, super overwhelmed, is instantly think it could be worse. And my mom, she got through worse, and you know, people have worse that they deal with, and this isn't that bad. So it doesn't always work, but that's something that I do that helps. Another thing that I like to do is cut off any distractions. Like, I used to be a people pleaser, believe it or not, I was. And as a people pleaser, you kind of get stuck sometimes in not wanting to tell people no. Let me sip this tea, because this is kind of some tea right now. So sometimes you can get stuck in not wanting to tell people no. And that is such a problem that you have to learn how to handle, because when you're overwhelmed and you're stressed and you're trying to help people and be their support system, trying to hold them up, you're gonna fall. You literally need to be sure that your foundation, which is yourself, your mind, your heart, your feelings, is strong enough before you start helping others or being there as a support for others, whether it's someone that you are in love with, whether it's family. I've always been told you cannot pour from your cup if your glass is empty. How important self-care is. So whenever I'm super overwhelmed, I take a step back and I try to get my mental together, however that may look. Some things I can recommend as far as ways of getting your mental together. And this kind of ties back into the question of how do you stay motivated with all the stresses that you have? How do you stay focused on your goals? So I recharge my spirit and my mind. So what I mean by that is that I might go to the coffee shop. I do like that alone time, that space, and that time for me to think. So it's kind of, I guess, a way of coping with situations, but you have to be careful, okay? And just real quick, y'all, I'm so in love with this. It makes doing hair strokes really easy because of how the pencil is. It's like a flat side, if you can see that. And it's retractable, so you don't have to sharpen it. And it has on the other side a brush so that you can really brush it up and make it look more natural, not so dark. So again, for my Maxwell concert look, it was all about a simple beat, and the eyebrows are important. okay? So I'm gonna bring you out just a little bit now because I already did my eyebrows, and at this step, what I usually do next is use my MAC pot as well as a skinny brush or another angled brush, whatever you find is easier. Or I'll go ahead and use a brush like this, which is like a flat brush, but I do outline my eyebrows. So that just gives it a more defined look. Now, as far as ways of coping, y'all, it can be dangerous. And let me tell you why. Because when people cope, it's doing something that will help you deal with your situation, because you can't change everything. Although we have a lot of power over our lives, more than some people even take credit for and realize, there are things that we can't change no matter what we do about it. So with that being said, coping is a way of living with it to where it's tolerable for you. It's like you stress, right? Instead of just doing what makes you feel good, whether it's being around a toxic person or toxic relationship, trying to cope by having sex and connecting with people randomly to have that feel-good moment temporarily, whether it's seeking attention, doing the wrong things, and these are like bad examples I can think of for coping that I have personally dealt with in the past. I'm putting on this Honey Do Me Up, which I like to use again for being like glowy and not too caked up. But going to the bar, oh my gosh, I'll be just completely transparent. I haven't gone to the bar a whole lot. Like my best friend and I, we like to go out. She goes out a whole lot, but we like to go out, have a good time. And that was something that we did. That was kind of like our bonding time. We would go to a local bar, kind of like Cheers. Everyone here knows your name. Like your order was already known before you got to the bar to sit down. One time I didn't even have my card on me. They let me use my card because I memorized it because I go there so much, so my face card was good. This is a bar that I was going to like all the time, y'all. So when my best friend moved, I was still going maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And it was really just because it was a comfortable feeling. A lot of times, like I mentioned, when you are coping with something, when you are going through something, just being around something that's comfortable or doing something that's comfortable makes you feel good, or doing or eating or just anything like that where it makes you happy, like for that moment. That's what people do. So coping is that. My best friend calls it spinning. Like say when you're going through a rebound stage or breaking up with someone, it's like, damn, you have this constant attention from this person, you have this constant contact. Whether they were annoying you or arguing with you, you were still engaging back and forth with another person. And when you break up with someone, you lose that. So it's like a lot of times you go out looking for that similar feeling, and I got that at the bar. My best friend was telling me I was spinning. That's what it's called. And you're like kind of trying to keep yourself busy or occupied because you're no longer occupied by what you used to. But y'all, going to the bar a lot, it was super expensive. It wasn't going along with my goals, not to mention alcohol makes me feel like crap the next day. So it just was not conclusive to what I was trying to do. And I bet for anyone watching this video, it's not conclusive for you to go to the bar and spend $40 every time at least and go multiple times a week. It's not a good look. It's not cute. It's not good for your skin. It's not a good look. So I literally realized that, but that was a coping mechanism at first. So I know I talked a whole lot about the negative coping mechanism. So now let's talk about what I focus on now. What I focus on now is, first of all, getting rid of any dead weight. Now, if you watched my video, the last Tea Talk Tuesday, that I kind of expressed a little bit more of what I mean by that. But long story short is just me clearing my surroundings. That works. Instantly, I can clear my surroundings by leaving where I'm at and going to a coffee shop. Alone time, y'all, that's something good you can do. Another thing that I started doing is just having a space in my house. So a lot of people will use their room as an example. You can go to your room, close the door, and now in your own oasis. I will turn my lights down low, maybe light a candle, and I will masturbate. Just kidding. That was like, it kind of went along with what I was saying. No, to be honest, that can work too, okay? But that's not what I was really gonna say. What I was really gonna say was I would read a book. So I have a couple of books. I know you dolls sometimes ask me in the comments when you guys see the books in my haul videos. So at this point, I did my foundation. I did my eyebrows first, then my foundation on top of my primer. And then I basically just put on eyeliner. I wanted my eyes to pop with some dramatic eyelashes. So I'm gonna do that part next, and then I can go on to the finishing touches. So this is like basically what I did. In regards to actually coping a positive way is by reading. So I read a lot. Those books that I can recommend to you right now is, one is by my mentor. She's awesome. She is a young teenage mom millionaire. She has a book called From Mopping Floors to Making Millions on Instagram. Her name's Ronnie Brown. I love that book right now. Another book that I love, I absolutely just adore, y'all. This book, and I pick it up whenever I really feel in my feelings. If I really feel like I need a pick-me-up, I need a hug, I read this book called The Alchemist by Paul Cohen. I think that's his name, or Pablo. But he writes this story about a young man who's in search of his personal legend. And that's all of us. We all are in search of a personal legend as far as what are we here for. And that book is filled with so much information as far, it's like nothing like factual, but it's just a lot of proverbs almost. And this is hard to talk and do my liner, y'all, so you gotta give me a sec. Those two books are great. Another book that I read is called Battlefields of the Mind by Joyce Myers. She is a preacher or pastor, and she really tells you how your mind controls it all. And that's why I really talk a lot about intentions and positive thoughts and good vibes only, because that's how your mind operates. So I literally love that book. I read that a lot. I asked my boo to read it because the mind controls a lot, and sometimes you don't even understand how it is something you can guide. You just have to be really intentional with your thoughts. So I think everyone should read it. Yo, this eyeliner looks like trash. All I did was just take the tails off of each side because I don't really want to make it all about my eyeliner with this look, because I didn't yesterday. It was really the lashes that made everything pop. So another book that I actually really loved and enjoyed, and this is just like for fun. I read this book called Crazy Rich Asians, which is about a super ridiculously rich, like a whole region of Asians, and they made a movie about it, but I don't want to watch the movie until I finish the book. So that's a good guilty pleasure. Honestly, I really think that's it for right now. I mean, there's so many different books that I peep into, but those are kind of the ones that are in rotation. So if y'all do want to know more about the books that I have, I can do like a book haul and kind of give you a little synopsis and what I think of them. Just give me a thumbs up, of course, as always, and I will get that recorded for you. But what I'm gonna do now is put my lashes on. This look is all about extreme lashes, y'all, and these ain't super extreme, but I want y'all to get how pretty these are. I love how they curl up, and I think they are so pretty. Go ahead and line the bottom of my eyes, and what I like to use is NYX. This is a jumbo eye pencil in the white color, and I just pull down my eye and put it right on my waterline. And I don't get too like carried away with it. Coping mechanisms I have: being around family or friends or people who make me happy, or they just have positive vibes. That's another coping mechanism. Doing a hobby that you might like is something. Just anything that keeps your head in a good space. I just want you to know that being by yourself is okay too. And as long as you give yourself time and give yourself the option to not be stressed or thinking about your stresses all the time, that's gonna help. You gotta reset your mind, reset your body, reset your intentions, and everything will work out. Sometimes, y'all, you just gotta have an off day, a bad day. Just don't let a day turn into days that turn into weeks, that turns into months, because that's when real depression can happen. So literally, it's okay to have an off day or off couple of days. Just don't let it be a thing, and make sure you're honest with yourself as to what the problem is, so you can try to eliminate the problem or honestly handle it. I hope that's helpful for you, dolls. A lot of times when it comes to being so ambitious that you want to get everything done, you don't do anything at all, I would say take things one step at a time, break things down into small to-do lists, and focus on that one item at a time. So that personally helps me. So that's my advice to you, dolls, is don't let anything take you out. Like, don't just do nothing, because if you do nothing, you know, nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna reach your goal. You're gonna be even more stressed or overwhelmed or depressed. So let's just make a commitment today that we're gonna write down, whether it's in the notepads of our cell phones, whether it's in like I use an erase board in my room. You can put something on a sticky note. Just write down your to-do list. Write it down, write down your goals, and then make it a priority to break it up into some steps, and then just work those steps. For me, I have steps because I can't move on to this next thing even though I'm thinking about it. I write down, yeah, this is the stuff that I'm eventually gonna get to, but I also just focus on the steps ahead of time. Now let's switch the gears a little. I know this is Tea Talk Tuesday, but I didn't have a whole lot of questions. All the questions I've been getting is about business, really, and I'm really surprised about that, and about weight loss. So I don't want to give too much info. I can always do a separate video on my fitness channel, which I plan to do this week, because I know y'all are here for fashion and makeup and hair and whatnot. But I'll just touch on the subject of YouTube and Instagram. It means that you should be commenting or liking 50 people per day. Use hashtags to increase your engagement. They have apps that do this, but I don't know. Instagram and just Facebook and all these different social medias are getting smart, so you can't really use apps. I prefer to do it all myself because I'm a real person, and eventually I'm gonna need something from these real people, because if you are business minded like me, the people you become friends with online will potentially be your customers, you know? So sip some tea for that. Now, I'm not being fake, I'm just being real. I want everyone who believes in me, who trusts me, who likes me to be my customer. So I'm gonna interact, okay? So what that looks like is growing your Instagram by talking to, liking, commenting, doing something to at least 50 people a day. I know it sounds like a lot, but y'all, I know I'm not the only one that be on Instagram longer than I should. That's one thing I do. You can go to the search explore page and then type in a subject. Like I'll type in keto or keto, you know, the things that I'm into is fitness. So I'll type in something about fitness, or I'll type in something about fashion. I might type in like Fenty Beauty, or, you know, I type in whatever I'm looking for in the search field. And then once I do that, it finds me different pictures that were hashtagged with that same thing. So then I just put it in that row view or whatever you want to call it. And I just scroll and I heart like people's comments. I comment back if I feel impelled. Like, I really have to feel like this is something I want to say. I'm not just gonna be like, oh girl, you cute, and I don't think that. Or I'm like, oh girl, this is the bomb, and I don't think that. I only comment, I only engage in a way that's honest and I really feel. So that's something I recommend to do, because people know when you're being fake, you know? But if you're wondering why you wanna do that, it's because that will make that person come to your page and like 9 times out of 10 your stuff back, which then makes it on your explore page. You might end up on that person's explore page or friends from that person's explore page. So it's just a good way to kind of get the engagement going. They may follow you, They may like your hashtag. I recommend to use your own hashtag over and over again. I recommend using hashtags as well on your pictures because that's how new people can find you. I have like 20 hashtags for each category, and I just copy and paste it on my own picture in the comments. That way I don't have to see it in my caption, but it's tagged to my picture and people looking for that hashtag can find it. So do that. Try to use high resolution pictures. It's Instagram. It started as a photography app. So why wouldn't you want to put quality pictures up? If I come to your page and I see pictures that look like they've been taken by a potato, then no girl, I'm not gonna follow you. I'm not even gonna look through your pictures. So it's like, find your light when you're doing your pictures. On your cell phones, try to use your back camera. Don't use your front camera. The back camera usually has higher megapixels and comes out clear. And I would take pictures on timer. Put that phone on that 10-second timer, and girlfriend, go at it. Have yourself a little photo shoot. You don't have to pay a photographer. You don't gotta wait for anyone. You just gotta make it happen, okay? Quick, I'm gonna use my mascara. I absolutely love this mascara, y'all. These two things right now are my favorite, the eyebrow pencil and this mascara. I get them from my online shopping club. Again, if y'all want info about that, let me know, comment below, and I will send it to you. But for this look, again, it's all about the lashes, the liner, the eyes. So I'm gonna use this to do my bottom lash line. I recommend being original because some people, they just copy like captions from other people. They don't put a lot of thought in behind it. You need to put some thought in your work. People like originality. Like, you have to do that. You gotta be real. You can tell right away when someone's just cookie cutter. They just doing what they see everyone else do. And after seeing so many people like that, it gets boring, you know? So even if you gotta take some time and really figure out what you want your online to look like, and I'm talking for people who wanna be like a brand or have like businesses. I'm not talking about just a regular person. Of course, you don't gotta put this much time, effort, attention, or detail into Instagram or your other social medias. But for those who specifically asked me, what is it that I do to grow my Instagram and my social medias, this is literally what I do. So I'm giving y'all the tea, okay? And you're getting the tea for free, okay? Okay, just so you know, I like using a natural liner. That's what I did yesterday. I used a natural liner. And then I just used a lip gloss. I did put a little bit of pink lipstick on, but just a nude or pinky lip gloss is gonna give you that natural look, so your actual brown color, like your lip can pull through. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put on my 2 coats of mascara while I give y'all the rest of this tea on how to build your social media following. I know a lot of micro influencers that get paid well because they know how to leverage their influence, okay? So don't think you have to have a lot of followers for you to be successful with anything you want to do, but it definitely does not hurt. So I would definitely be taking notes if you are watching this and that is something you are interested in doing as far as building up your social media presence. You just want to make sure you're authentic and you're doing something you truly love, because people can see through it if you're just there for collecting a coin. Like, people see that. They may not see it right away, but with any business, you want long-term. You want credibility. You don't want people talking junk about you, and you definitely don't want to have a one-time customer. You want someone that'll come back repeatedly and even become a cheerleader for you and rep your business and just become an advocate because of your services or products or just who you are as a business. So all that makes sense, y'all. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. I'm not just rambling. I promise when I do these, I feel like I'm always just rambling, but I hope this is touching what y'all, I hope this is really doing it for y'all. Oh, baby, babe. But I'm gonna just put this on to kind of map me out a little. And I'm going to look back at my phone to get the last question. And yeah, we'll be all done. The other video, you dolls wanted to know when I'm going to do a question and answer with Bree, or as y'all know her, Breezy. Well, yeah, I don't mind doing a Q&A with her. Last we spoke, she definitely said she was down because, yeah, she likes doing YouTube, and we're gonna get her set up with one. But she is totally down. So what questions do you have? Leave them down below. If you leave the questions, then we'll have them to record. Using a glow kit. I absolutely adore this, also by Beverly Hills Anastasia. You gotta spray your face down. And I'm using the NYX matte finishing spray, so.
It's dark outside. I'm feeling right with you.
Okay, dolls, so that is it for Tea Talk Tuesday. Again, I love doing these. Can I just say, like, Tea Talk Tuesday is starting to become my favorite. Now, I hate that I didn't get to do one last week, and that's partly because I didn't really have a lot of questions that I could have made a video with. Now, if you like this kind of video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. That way I know, as well as leave anything you're feeling, any type of suggestions that we went over, like anything you do yourself to cope or anything you do to help build your social media, put it down below. Everyone needs to know this is a safe space for everybody to have something from these videos. That way I can keep doing them. That's really it. Leave comments down below of your next ideas. Also follow me on my social medias, which is at CRYSTALCHANEL. That's on Twitter. Ask me a question there, or wait for me to ask on Instagram. My Instagram name is at Chrissy the Doll, and so is my Snapchat. But on Instagram, I can always post for you guys when you can ask me questions. That way I have something else to make a video about next Tuesday. If you don't follow this channel, be sure that you do that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification bell so that you can get an alert when your girl posts a new video. Also, if you don't follow me on my fitness as well as my vlog channel, be sure that you do that. I'm going to be posting a lot more on those channels, so you don't want to miss out there too. So that's really it, dolls. I want to say thank you as always for tuning in and rocking with your girl, and stay fabulous and stay fierce.